Well, thanks for tuning in. Good morning. This is the trade setup with me, Niraj Shah, and let's take stock of what might determine trade today. So the US markets had a good close on Friday, and I think that is something that people should take heart from. Inflation pressures believed to be easing. Remember, it's a data-heavy week, this one as well. So keep an eye out for that. Asian stocks have climbed as the risk sentiment rebounds. So we have tinge of green across Asia as well. Mixed picture, but a tinge of green nevertheless. Remember, US markets are shut today, so we won't have too many cues from that end of the market. North Korea has given notice of a satellite launch by June 4th. Why this is important is because this satellite apparently allows them to spy on Japan and some of the others, and people have said that, oh, that is in violation of the UN protocol, if you will. I don't know if this kind of raises the ante in the South China Sea region. China has defied global copper squeeze with near record production. So as much as we feel that copper is coming off in terms of production, China is doing okay, and that might just cap upside prices, if you will. So that's to be kept in mind. Saudi Arabia plans a multi-billion-dollar Aramco share sale as per Reuters, and this could be big as well from a regional news perspective. But from a markets perspective, US markets had an okay. I mean, Dow was okay, but the Nasdaq was up about 1% courtesy NVIDIA. Does that have a further impact on our tech space? Remains to be seen. Thus far, we haven't quite seen that. Keep that in mind. Like I said, Asia has a tinge of green. We might start off okay today, so that's to be kept in mind. And if you just look at the trade setup, what is heartening to see, frankly, viewers, is the return of action of the bank nifty. This is the big thing. We had this buy missing in the rallies thus far. The last 2 days, we've had the bank nifty come back and participate, which is a great thing. We already had PSUs doing well. The penultimate week to the election result, PSUs have participated with gusto. Not PSU banks necessarily, but PSU stocks. Then if CPSE ETF would have done really well. So I think that aspect of the market is doing well, which is good. And when I scan pockets of results or of commentary, I think now what stands out is what auto ancillaries are doing. Some really strong show, strength after a bout of very strong results as well. A clutch of these stocks. I mean, if you just look at what some of the stocks have done over the last 5 days, Uno Minda up 14%, Sandhar Tech up 10%, Samvardhana Motherson up about 7.9%, Banco Products up about 7.68%, TVS Holdings up about 5% as well. So the auto ancillary space has actually had a really good showing in the quarter, and showing some strength as well in terms of price performance. So that's certainly a pocket that you want to keep an eye out for. Just one quick thing before we get to stocks. The reason why this market is also exciting and may not be toppish, and I borrow a quote from Dr. C.K. Narayan in his weekly column. He writes it on NDTV Profit over the weekend. You should try and log in and read that. He says that when the entire market participates in the push of the main indices to all-time highs, it's a clear indication that there is no immediate fear of a top. Now, these may be the famous last words as well, but I think this just shows that if we are fearful around the markets having rallied too much and therefore toppish, may not be the case. Okay. Few results this week, not too many really from a large cap space, but from the mid-size. LIC is the biggest one, but I'll watch out for NMDC as well as NALCO, so this is important. TARC is a small cap real estate name from NCR, but has guided to very strong numbers for FY25. Let's see if they deliver in FY24. And a clutch of others, Automotive Axle, HBL Power, Lumax Auto, all of them fairly important. From stocks to watch out for today, I'll start off with the Adani twins, Adani Ports and not Adani Enterprises. But Adani Ports is the stock which will be included in Sensex from effect from June 24th. This was the top loser in Friday's session. Does this announcement rev it up a little bit? I think that's a key question to monitor, but watch out for Adani Ports and watch out for Adani Enterprises and Adani Energy Solutions as well, because they're going to consider fundraising this week. Energy Solutions today, Adani Enterprises on Tuesday. So be mindful of that. Adani Enterprises, because of this fundraising piece, could well continue the momentum, though it's not a part of Sensex anymore, so that's a bit of a downtick there too. But all these three stocks in focus today. Standard disclosure, Adani Group owns NDTV, and you're watching this broadcast on NDTV Profit handles. Okay, let's move on to results. Divi's Lab, strong set of numbers. Revenues are up 18%, PAT up 67%, EBITDA margin expanded 680 basis points. For a pharma and a CDMO player to do this is exceptional. They've, the price erosion was offset by raw material reduction. They've guided to very strong growth for FY25 5 as well. So all of this looks positive. Motilal Oswal may be neutral on divvies, but a clutch of others. I think Incred and HSBC have upped the target on divvies. So watch out for divvies lab in the session today. I think could react positively. United Spirits, revenues were up 11%, but margins expanded to 12% versus 9.4%. And PAT, 136% higher at 241 crores versus 238 crores. So decent numbers. Let's see if the PAT number excites the street. What might excite the street is NTPC. Strong showing. Revenues up 7.6% at 47622, as you can see, ahead of estimates. But the margin too ahead of estimates, 29.8 versus 29, and PAT ahead of estimates as well, 6490 versus 5331 crores. This has gotten brokerages excited. Citi has raised the target price on NTPC, 467 versus 407. They say it's the top pick in the utility space, and multiple reasons, of course, including the regulated entity uptick that comes in. So watch out for NTPC in the session today. Let's move on to the next stock, and that's Cochin Shipyard. Revenues up 114%, 1286 crores. Just look at the numbers, margins, PAT, everywhere. They've just done a handsome piece out there, 288 crores versus a loss earlier. PAT up 6.5x at 259 crores versus 39 crores. You can't find a fault with this one. Yes, these stocks have rallied in a massive way, but just feel that they're delivering numbers, and that's why the street might well just, reward the stock. So watch out for this one. Sun TV and Bosch were ho-hum really. In Sun TV's case, the margin is the important number, and the margins came off quite significantly. Maybe this hurts the stock today. Media is just turning around the corner, select stocks, but this one, the margin performance is a bit to be desired. In Bosch's case though, I thought the margin performance was okay. Revenues are up flattish, but margins were decent, 13.2 versus 12.9. Auto ancillary company, I think the PAT number was very good relative to estimates, also 41%. So watch out for Bosch in the session today. Power Grid and GMR Airports are the other two stocks on my radar before I wrap up. Remember, there are a lot of results, viewers, that have come out. I have condensed them to the ones that I think might react, and then some key brokerage notes. You read about Citi on NTPC. There's also Jefferies on Power Grid. They have a buy rating. The target price has been raised to 370 from 305. So there is an uptick there. Look at the current market price, 318. Price is 370. They say the FY25 and 26 PAT is seeing minimal change despite the missing FY24 numbers, because capex and capitalization is picking up, and a clutch of other reasons why. Power Grid is a buy from Jefferies. What is also a buy is GMR Airports. That's the last stock on my radar. Initiate with a buy, a target price of 100. Most important line, and we'll end it here. They see EBITDA moving up 3x in 5 years. Watch out for GMR Airports, Power Grid, NTPC, and some of the others in the session today. Thanks so much for tuning into this trade setup.